Hi, I'm Dr. Paul Van Valen, and I remember when my boys were young. They're all in their 30-somethings now, but when they were young, I was sometimes called the worst dad ever. Or Becky and I collectively were sometimes called the worst parents ever. Why? Because we had standards and expectations that were different from some of their friends, even some of their Christian friends. So we had rules about television and media, where they could go, when they had to come home, and they were different than some of their friends. And so we were sometimes the worst parents ever, which was a title I wore proudly, and would to this day be happy to be the worst parent ever, or when the day comes, the worst grandparent ever, if it comes to maintaining boundaries and standards that ensure safety and health and the optimal chance for our children to grow and become the kind of people that God wants them to be. So what's going on, I'm learning as I walk the streets around my neighborhood in 75 degrees and sunny, is I'm observing that spring has hit Southeast Virginia in full force. And with that come a lot of people getting out and about, which is great. We need to do that. But many of you, whether you're in Southeast Virginia or in a few weeks in Michigan or wherever that is, will be hearing, I want to go play with Billy. Why can't I go down to the corner and hang out with my friends? And these kind of questions will challenge your resolve to set boundaries and maintain them, which I'm going to encourage you to do. Once you decide what you believe is the right thing to do, stick with it, even if it creates conflict. Some of us have an easier time of that than others. We're more mission-minded, we're less empathic. But a big part of the population of parents is also highly empathic. And so you feel for your kids and you want to help ease their burden. But once you've decided the right thing to do, courage requires you to stick with it. Courage is doing the right thing when you don't feel like it. And I'm not going to tell you what standards to set. I just want to encourage you to have them. So when it comes time, we're hearing that Georgia is going to open up some non-essential businesses, Texas following quickly. We're in a time of potential transition. And what I hear from many sources is we're going to do a dance with opening something up, then pulling back, and opening this up and pulling back. And so I intend to just kind of watch and see what does happen when communities begin opening up their doors for more activity. I'm not in a position to judge whether it's right or wrong, but time will tell what the best judgments are. And so each of you, in whatever community you're in, whatever your circumstance, whatever kind of dwelling you're in, you have to make decisions for your family. You have to lead with authentic kindness, but authoritative. You need to listen to their complaints and concerns and validate. Don't just write it off. Let them express, they need to complain a little bit too. Let them express themselves. But when it comes to what you believe is a safe context, stick with it. And during this time, you really need to be hearing from other parents. You need to be, texting, posting, talking, Zooming with other families with children your age or maybe a little older to be getting validation for what is real, so that you don't function with confusion and later regret some of the choices that you make as a parent. World's Worst Parent Ever is not a bad title. Some of you will share it with me. Feel free to post your own observations and thoughts as comments on this post. I welcome to dialogue with you. Be safe.